Hey everybody, it's Tina from the Lovers Conjure. I hope that you guys are all doing well. Okay, so as you can see by the title, this video is pretty serious. It's very serious actually. I apologize for my appearance. I haven't been doing much, appearance stuff lately. Okay, so here's the deal. I am in a financial crisis right now, and I'm going to tell you why. There were several things that caused this, but I'm going to give you the full breakdown just so that everybody knows that this is not me being lazy and trying not to work and just trying to get money from people. No, this is not it at all. I have never taken any donations from anybody ever in my life, ever. Not once, okay? I've never had a donation link for this channel. Not to say that donations are bad. I donate all the time to people, but I did not need the donations. This is why I didn't have it. I just don't believe in taking things that you don't need. So I never had a donation link. I never asked for donations. I never asked anybody to donate anything ever, with any sort of YouTube stuff that I've ever done. But this is the time if you can spare anything and I have touched your life in some way, or the Lovers Conjure has touched your life in some way, I am asking you please. Here's the deal. So my car got repossessed on Friday. It's just a car. It's material things, yes, okay, but this car, okay, was what I used to take my kid to and from school, and to take her to the park, and to run to the post office or to the store when we need something, so it's going to be very difficult to live without one. Now, I'm okay. I'll be fine. I'm just looking for a bicycle at the moment so that I can at least get to the store or take packages to the post office if I need to do stuff like that. But yeah, I couldn't pay the bill. It fell behind, and yeah, they came and got it. Yep, so that's that. I lost all of my worldly possessions. I couldn't pay the bill on my storage unit. So they went about, 2 or 3 months ago. And again, it pains me to think about how beautifully I furnished my house last year when I was doing so well. And that all of that is just gone now. All of that stuff that I worked so hard for, But what really pains me, it's not the stuff. There was just my family heirlooms, are gone. I had a pair of combat boots. In case this video ever finds it to the person that buys my storage unit, I had a pair of combat boots in there that my aunt wore in Kuwait for 2 years. She was in the Navy, and then she died. And she gave them to me. I inherited them, and I wore them in Afghanistan as well for 6 months. So they were very important to me, and I wanted to have them bronzed, but I never got around to it. So, anyway, they're all gone. All of it's gone. So there's that. My employee, Amy, who is literally the reason I am sitting here right now, I would not be here if it were not for her. She is the most loyal, dedicated, and kind human being that God could have sent me, and I am so eternally grateful for her. I am going to find a way to pay her back in this lifetime. She deserves everything. Anyway, because she's so loyal, she has been working without pay for months, just me Venmoing her 100 here, 200 there whenever I can, trying to make ends meet. I've just been robbing Peter to pay Paul. I maxed out all of my personal credit. I ruined my credit trying to keep the store going, and the reason that everything fell apart is not because our sales dropped. No, I'm in extremely high demand. Like, I can't take the business. That's the problem. I lost all my employees. I made a list of everything that's happened in the last year, because I want you guys to see why this is happening and why I'm like this and why I've been so lame. It's not because I don't want to work. It's not because I'm out gallivanting around having fun, just not caring about, your spell. No, you know what I mean? I'm suffering. I'm literally suffering. And I'm doing all of this, by the way, completely by myself. I have been 100% on my own for 6 years now. 6 years, not even a freaking friend in sight. I have Amy, she's my employee, but she's my employee. Do you understand? It's not, we have a good relationship, a great relationship. I adore her, but I'm not putting all this on her. You know what I mean? Anyway, Anyway, so she knows about all this stuff though. Holy crap, she's seen me go through a freaking crazy roller coaster. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm a high-level light worker, right? There's a reason that God gave me the store. There's a reason that God lifted me up and out of the law firms and put me into this field. There's a reason, right? And it's because of what's going on right now, okay? You're probably seeing, you know, depending on where you are, from my point of view, it seems to be a bit regional. But you're seeing such an upcoming of narcissists, you know, just coming up all around you. Like everybody, all of a sudden, they can't even help it. They're just jerks, you know, but true blue narcissists. And it's becoming very, very apparent. Everybody's becoming aware of it. Everybody's waking up to it, right? There's a reason for that, you know. Those are demonically possessed people. All right. And if you're playing with one in any capacity, you need to get out of their lives as soon as possible. Cut them off. It's not worth it. All right. Anyway, we're going to talk about this for a second. So we had, you know, the stalker situation that continues, by the way. Stalking is just a part of my daily life now. I can't really go anywhere or do anything without the expectation that somebody's going to be in the shadows taking pictures of me. Okay. I've got pictures and videos of people following me in cars, taking pictures of me. I mean, you name it. It's crazy. I've literally caught stalkers on from every angle. Right. But there's no way to know who's sending them. I don't know if they themselves are the creep, or if they've been hired by one of the creeps that's creeping on me, or if they're hired by the stalker from Tennessee, or, you know, the one from the demonic encampment that I have nothing to do with, you know, like it could be anything, right? And as things on earth become more and more dim and more dark, and they're kind of spreading and just taking over like wildfire. They used social media to poison everybody. It's crazy what they did, but it worked, you know, it worked. And so it's like only very few of us were not impacted by this, you know. And they're coming after people like me, like Amy, you know what I mean? Light workers, being of lights, empaths, you know, we're targets. We are targets for these predators. That's what they are. They're demonically possessed, okay? There's no other way around it. So I'm going to talk to you guys about just in the last calendar year, January forward, what has gone on in my life. All right, so I had the stalker situation. My 17-year best friend used that to weasel his way into my life, and then pretend like he wanted to get married and have a family with me, and then used me for all of my money. Everything he could take, he took. Freaking drained me completely dry. He was so jealous of me. He was a hidden enemy in competition the whole time, and I had no idea. I was so stupid because we were best friends for 17 years. I didn't even think twice about it. But either he got possessed somewhere along the way, or he was always possessed and had been able to hide it very well, but just can't anymore. But man, let me tell you, that boy is dark. He is dark. I mean, he's so dark that he SA'd me. You know what I mean? When I called him out on cheating, he literally did that. Like I was like, are you crazy? Like I mean, it was demonically possessed, you know? There's no other way to put it. He wasn't even there. Nobody was effing home, you know? So yeah, that was that one. So that guy, you know, dragged me around from January to April until he ghosted me right after we had just taken the kids to Disney, and he had acted like Prince Charming for a week, you know, to promote this fairy tale that he was trying to sell me, you know what I mean? Yeah, he ghosted me and my daughter, like just bam, you know, out of nowhere. So I go out to dinner that night with a girlfriend of mine, and we're at a place that's in walking distance to my house. So anyway, at that place, we meet some people who end up being neighbors of mine, okay? They introduce themselves as brothers, all right? They were interested in she and I, okay? She wanted nothing to do with them. Her intuition obviously is a lot stronger than mine, or I'm just too freaking nice. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I shouldn't talk to weirdos, but yeah, they were weird. And I talked to them. I don't know. I like unusual people, but you can't, guys. Everybody's a predator. You just have to put that in your head. If you're radiating light, everybody's a predator, okay? Put that in your head. Just be super careful who you trust. Okay, so anyway, I meet these guys, okay? So this one guy ends up like really liking me. Like, he wanted to be with me, you know what I mean? Like, he was much older than me, over 20 years older than me, but he was super like like forceful, you know, every day. Like, hey, he knew I was really bummed. Okay, so it was that night that I met this guy, okay? I was super bummed over, you know, Braden, obviously heartbroken, you know, I was devastated. I didn't know what had happened. I was so confused. I was waiting, like, is he gonna come back? Like, what's happening? You know, I was just in this state of confusion, totally just completely mind blown, you know? My finances were, you know, crazy. Like, everything was just blowing up in my face. My employees had sabotaged me, you know, all of this stuff. So anyway, this neighbor guy, you know, is like bombarding me every day. Like, hey, let's go to the beach. Let's go get some ice cream. Let's go out to eat. Let's watch a movie. Let's have dinner, you know, every day. And before you know it, he's like, you know, I want to date you. And the sad part about this was, you know, there was like, for some reason, I saw a light in him that doesn't exist. It's gone. Like, but there was a moment where he was like singing, you know, Disney songs in my kitchen, and I was like, wow, like he had such potential. He's a musician, but he like sings like, you know, like that kind of music. I can't really get down with it, no offense to anybody, but it's just not my jam, you know. But anyway, there was a moment where I was like, I always think back on that moment of him, like he sounded like Prince Charming when he was singing. We were singing like a duet, you know, and it was crazy because he was such a high level demon. This guy, all right, I can't even begin to tell you, ends up being just abusive, okay? Just very extremely toxic and abusive, okay? I walked away completely. We were not having, you know, intimate times or anything at that point. And I was like, you're too toxic, you know, I can't even be friends with you, you know? So like that weekend, I go out by myself and I'm sitting at the bar, this little bar, like 10-minute walk from my house. And you know, in walks that guy, you know, like, I don't know if he had followed me there. Of course, now I know he followed me, but, you know, so he comes over, we start talking, we start hanging out. He's like, hey, you want to come over to my buddy's house, you know, after the bar's closing up? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. His buddy lived like 1 block over and I lived like, you know, 5 blocks that way. So I was going to walk home from there. Okay. No problem. I'm thinking he's a neighbor. I'm trying to be friends. I'm trying to have a good neighborly relationship with him. We've not been intimate. Like, there was no romantic relationship established. It was just us hanging out, having fun, blah, blah, blah. Okay. This motherfucker, excuse my language, this motherfucker drugs me, okay? I wake up in the morning, all right? He's standing over me, and he's going, did you know we had sex last night? I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, and I had to go to the doctor and get special pills just so that I could get it up for you. You should be grateful. Like that. This is the high-level demon I'm talking about, okay? Real demons, like not play demons, not a joke, not like, oh, like, hi, you little demon. No, real demons, okay? And that's just one example, all right? And you're probably asking yourself, Tina, what'd you do? Did you call the police? No, I didn't. And you know why I didn't? Because I saw the way they treated me with the stalker. That stalker committed more than 10 felonies against me, 10. And they would not even speak to her. They never even interviewed her. They never even looked for her, nothing. They sat there and let me suffer. And literally suffer for months on end, okay? And did absolutely nothing. Violation after violation of her restraining order, and did nothing. I stopped calling after a while and just sat there with my gun like, I'm just gonna shoot her if she comes in the house. That's all I can do. That's all I can do, you know? So no, I didn't call the police because you know what? They don't do anything. They don't care about stuff like that, you know? All right, so anyway, that happens with that guy. So I'm like, I gotta get out of town. My lease is coming up, you know, expiring, you know, July 1st. I'm like, great, you know, I can get out of this neighborhood. I don't want to live here anymore. I don't want to see this guy ever again. He pulled a stunt at the very end and tried to hide my car keys from me and wouldn't let me have my car. I had to call the cops to freaking get my keys and stuff. It was just chaos, you know, as it is with every narcissist. And it, of course, was my 40th birthday, by the way, because they have to, you know, do the discard on your, you know, birthday or when you're having surgery or, you know, at your most vulnerable time, at a time that's supposed to be really nice and special for you. You know, that's what they have to do. Anyway, I'm not getting side-railed. So anyway, left that loser in the dust. And, I mean, it was like I floated on wings getting out of there. I mean, I have no idea how to explain it. I literally floated through the neighborhood. There was nothing. He was chasing after me, running after me, like, stop. I'm like, it just, God took me out of that situation. It was too much, you know? So anyway, I at July 1st, my lease was up and I was already struggling financially. I had just gone through 2 back-to-back like sociopaths just attacking me, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit. And so it was like, okay, I need to just sit down and just get grounded for a minute. So I was like, okay, my lease is up. I can't even look for an apartment right now. I'm too overwhelmed with everything else. My finances are completely all over the place. So I just said, okay, I'm just gonna, camp out with friends and in Airbnbs and that kind of stuff for a while. Okay, that was July 1st. That's what I've still been doing. It's just camping out different places, So, anyway, so yeah, July 1st, I became homeless, lost the storage unit, a few months after that. I lost the car Friday. My rent is behind. It is about 2 months behind because I was trying to juggle. I was trying to save up enough here to make a car payment to where they wouldn't take the car, but I couldn't ever get to that point because shit just kept happening one after the other, or I would need something or my daughter would need something. It just never got to that point. I have not been able to work like I should. I am dragging myself out of bed in the morning to sit out there and literally shake. I sit there and I look at spells and I shake. They've attacked me with black magic. Like, you would not freaking believe. They're trying to shut this place down. They don't want the light spread. They want this place closed and they want me dead. This is the truth, okay? Again, judging by people's behaviors here, okay? So after that occurs, right? What happened over the summer? Okay, we had Hurricane Ian. Then what happened? I don't remember. Yeah, so I lost freaking 4 days or so worth of income in that, and at that was the turning point. That's when my rent started to fall behind. It was Hurricane Ian because we were shut down for so long and we had no business, for 2 days before, and pretty much a week of no business is what was going on. And I had to shut down shipping because, of course, shipping operations out of Florida were uncertain for a couple of days. It was stuff like that. So we had to shut the shop down out of a precautionary in case we got damaged and I couldn't deliver what people had bought, So anyway, we had to shut the shop down, and that was the turning point. That's when the rent started to be late. That's when I started robbing Peter to pay Paul, and I was already doing that, but it was the scale that just turned everything over. It was the tower moment. So yes, I'm coming to ask for donations. My hope is to get enough to pay the rent and hopefully pay Amy as much as possible. I don't know, again, what's going to happen tonight. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I'm sorry this is happening. I cannot believe this is happening. 1 year ago today, not today, excuse me, but I was looking at the car, as they're taking it away, and I'm thinking about when I walked into the Mercedes dealership by myself as a woman, okay, as a business owner. Like, I fought for this shit, you know what I mean? I worked hard for this. I have faced many a mean man for this, you know what I mean? I really have. I've faced adversity, So anyway, I walked into Mercedes and they ran my credit real quick and they were like, "Ooh, girl, you could have anything you want." They were like, anything, 1.9% interest. Which is a very good interest rate for those that don't know what that means, I had great credit. Like, I could get anything I wanted, and 1 year later I am destroyed because of narcissists. So that was that. I took a couple months to kind of try to ground myself then and catch up on work stuff. I don't remember if anything else chaotic happened. Let me look at my list. Oh, yeah. So, my family, that was the thing. July 1st, I became narcissist free, 100% narcissist free. And I'm very proud of that, but that meant that I had to cut off family. I realized when I went homeless and my aunt decided that she would mock me, never offering any sort of assistance. And by the way, guys, I have never had financial difficulties in my adult life. The last time I borrowed money was $50 from my grandmother about 2 months after I moved to Florida because I got sick and I needed to go to the walk-in clinic, and I didn't have any money because my husband had left me as soon as we got here. So that was the last time I borrowed money, and I Western Union her back 1 week later, that $50. I hate borrowing money from people, but I have sought out loans from people. People have dangled carrots in front of my face like you wouldn't believe. They've strung me along for months and months and months, making me think that they were going to help me, telling me, "Oh yeah, we'll do anything that you want, blah, 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 blah." It was all to use me, because I'm nice and I'm fun to have around. I am, Anyway, so yeah, went homeless. My family totally turned their back on me. I don't have family anymore. Oh, that was when I had the heart arrhythmia issue as well. That was my first ambulance ride. I almost died. This all happened within a couple of weeks, this whole situation. Yeah, I almost died of a heart attack, you know, for no apparent reason. But I'm on heart medication now. What else happened? Yeah, I had a couple narcissists just kind of floating around at that point. Let me see. Okay, so October, and this is why they're so dangerous, guys. Yeah, I had a couple narcissists floating around, okay, in the summer, and I rejected both of them, okay. One of them I didn't chase. They both wanted me to chase them, and I don't do masculines in their feminine energy like that, where they want to play toxic games and they want to be chased and pursued and wined and dined, and they also want to be emotionally nurtured and catered to, and they want to make absolutely no adjustments to their life, no modifications to the situation, and they want to sacrifice nothing, you know. And that's why I won't do it, okay. So yeah, this is the narcissistic way. This is what they do. Anyway, so I refuse. So I rejected those offers and didn't chase, okay? And in October, I decided, after a couple months, you know, I'd been sitting at home kind of by myself, lonely. I'm like, I'm going to treat myself to dinner and the sunset at the beach. So I Uber on down to the beach because I'm like, I'm going to have a couple of cocktails too. A pina colada sounds great, you know? So I Uber down to the beach and have my dinner, and I meet these women from, I want to say they were from Mobile, Alabama, and they were very, very sweet. We had a great conversation. They were professional women, and of course we bonded immediately. There were other people that joined us later in the evening, a British couple. We had a great night. I'm walking out of that restaurant, and all of a sudden I start to have the same feeling that I felt the last 2 times I was drugged. I was like, what? Like, and then I looked at, there was a bartender from that restaurant, and I had asked him, is there a place I can go have one more beer while I wait for my Uber? Is there like a little bar nearby, you know? And he's like, actually, I'm going there. I can walk you there. So I looked up at him. I remember going like, can you please help me call an Uber, you know? And handing him my phone. Well, next thing you know, I end up behind a dumpster at CVS, missing my bra and underwear. I didn't feel like I had been sexually assaulted or anything like that, though. But yeah, so I wake up the next morning in jail. In jail. The big setup, like James Brown. Why am I in jail, you ask? What did they arrest me on? Well, they found me behind a dumpster, completely incoherent, didn't know my own name, didn't know where I lived, you know? And instead of taking someone who has literally 0 priors, I don't even have a moving violation, guys. Nothing. I don't even have a parking ticket. Nothing, okay? I had a red light ticket one time over 10 years ago in Tampa. That's my one thing, okay? All right? I'm 40 years old. Instead of, you know, maybe thinking like, it's kind of weird that she'd be out here incoherent, stumbling around, missing her bra, you know? We think, oh, let's arrest her and throw her in jail. It was a setup, guys. It was. It was. All right, and I'm calling everybody out. I don't know who did it, but that cop was involved. I'll tell you a little bit more. So anyway, I wake up in jail, so I'm like, hey, why am I in jail? And I'm not even scared. That was the funny part of everything. Like I was safer in jail than I had been if they had left me behind the dumpster. So I'm grateful for that protection, that divine protection. Thank you, God. But there was something else to this as well. Okay, a lot more to it than meets the eye. So anyway, yeah. What they charged me with was I had a small travel container of my prescriptions, my legal prescriptions, 3 of them, in a little travel container in my purse, okay? Because I travel sometimes, you know? I had been Airbnb hopping, all right? It was nice and convenient for me to pull that out. And we're talking less than 5 pills of each, okay? 2 of them were controlled substances. 1 of them is not a controlled substance in any way. They charged me with a felony for each of those. Even though they were able to, in the prison, okay, the nurse comes around and goes, do you take any medications? And I said, yes. The ones that they charged me with felonies for, those are the ones that I take. Those are my meds. And she's like, what, what's your pharmacy? And I tell her. She looks it up in the system and she sees it. Yes, it's legally prescribed to me. She's like, do you want them? I'm like, yes. It was so crazy. I'm like, this is why I'm sitting in here, lady. But anyway, I didn't try to like argue with them. I was just like, keep your head down, get out of there, get home, take a freaking shower. I had a whole experience. I'm going to do a big video on that as well. My opinion on jail and inmates and everything completely changed, guys. It's completely changed. So anyway, I'll tell you guys about that too, but I have to deal with that court case now. So that's another thing that's been keeping me down a little bit. And with those felonies, by the way, this means now I can't go back to the law firms that I used to work at. I can't go back to the Fortune 500s. I can't go back to the government work that I used to do. All of the things that I could have done to make lots of money or enough to support me and Emmy, gone. They took that from me. That they're threatening, to take my kid. I mean, with those charges, it's so bad. They're not going to go through. It's going to get wiped off. It'll be fine. And whoever did this is going to get caught. God already told me. And I can't freaking wait. I can't wait. I literally can't. Anyway. So with all of this, imagine, they're trying to take my ability to have a gun, like all of this stuff that goes along with it, guys. Oh my gosh. Like, you know what I mean? They're trying any sort of angle. God said the person that did it, and this makes me think I know who it was. The person that did it said she's a little too pure and innocent for me. I gotta jack her up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and you have no idea. You have no idea. You opened a portal, a literal portal. So anyway, while I was in there, one of the guards tried to hobble my feet. She stomped on them, tried to break the bones in my feet. They ripped my evil eye necklace off, like, whoosh, tell me that's not evil, like literally. It was so crazy. So anyway, that happened. And then what else happened? Okay. Yeah, that was October. November was uneventful for the most part. I had somebody, that was when I had somebody, potentially that was going to help me with the business. There were discussions of that, and this was a big player. Like this person, has a lot of contacts, has the means of doing this type of thing, right? To making this like real. And so I was very interested in discussing that, obviously, with him. And it's a little bit complex, but they wanted full control. They wanted me to step back completely and just sit back while they make all the decisions. They didn't want any oversight, input, nothing from me. Nothing. Just the name. Just the good name that I built. Right? It's a shark, you know what I mean? It's a tiger. That's what they're doing. They see me struggling, you know what I mean? They see me like, help me. And then it's these tigers that like basically squash small businesses, or they see the value in a business that's struggling and then buy it and blow it up, you know what I mean? And I don't want this commercialized. I mean, yes, we need to make money. We need to eat. We have rent to pay. Yes, it's important. I really need to get a car. Like yes. However, I'm not here for the money. You know what I mean? I am literally here to spread love and light all over the world and to help as many people as possible. It's my dream come true to help people. That's all I ever wanted to do, in a meaningful way though. And literally 60,000 sales in the last couple of years alone on Etsy. You know what I mean? Go look at the reviews. It's insane. We've helped so many people, I know that I've touched lives. I know that. It's my business is worth something. You know what I mean? It's not worthless. And these guys try to make me feel like I am worthless because I'm struggling financially. They treat me like horrible, like shit, And they think it's funny. That's the funny part too. It's like, wow. And I tell everybody, I'm like, hey, I work for God. I work for God, It's not a good idea to play games with me. The karma, the repercussions for messing with somebody with completely pure intentions and pure light and pure energy are not good. And they just don't believe me. It's like they have to challenge God. I feel like for a lot of them, it's an ego thing, or it's just that the demon is so you know what I mean? It's so like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it does. Like when you even bring up God, you know, they don't believe it. Like they don't know, they want to fight it, you know? And I think that's why they get violent with me a lot too. You know, they want to harm me physically. It's crazy. So anyway, I had to walk away from that. It just, you know, it was not a good deal. It was all of my work for nothing. I don't even know what the deal was. There wasn't a deal. It was just a discussion, but it was not coming from a good place. You know what I mean? I need to work with somebody of the light, you know? I really do. I can't work with somebody of the dark and make this business what it's supposed to be, you know? And to make me what I'm supposed to be, and that's helping a lot of people. You know what I mean? All right, guys. So that happened, and then yeah, I had a couple other, you know, false offers come through. Please don't come through with any false offers, guys. Listen, again, please, karma. You know what I mean? Like, don't come over and tell me that you're interested in doing business, or send me a message, you know, blah, blah, blah. And if you need to contact us, Etsy messages is going to be the way. Anyway, don't come over and please, you know, send false business offers to me. Again, I'm protecting this business with my life, you know? So, you know, we'll see what happens, but I don't know, guys. All right, I'm sorry for kind of getting off the topic there. You know, there's just so much that's happened. And again, that's just scratching the surface of the last year of my life. It's been a lot more than that. Those are just some of the more traumatic things that have happened, but I've had a lot more too, you know? All the little things add up after a while as well. And so I'm trying to take care of my daughter. I'm trying to be present for her and be a good mom. You know, I'm trying my best to stay sane, you know, through all of this. I feel like I've done a good job. I'm trying to take better care of myself because, you know, it's, you know, I definitely wasn't doing that. I mean, that was the last thing on my list, you know, for a long time. So I'm just trying to take care of myself, you know, so that I can be of service to you guys, you know, through the Lord. You know, the Lord can work through me to service you like he's been doing, you know. And that's what I need to get back to. So anyway, any you know, any donations, if you are able to, are much appreciated, and I'd be very, very grateful. Again, I'm just trying to save the Lovers Conjure. I want to work. I'm willing to work. I will pull out of this funk. The dark will not win. They will not defeat me, and I will not sell out. No, 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 no. Not happening. Okay? We're gonna make it, guys. I would be so grateful if you could help me save the sacred space that I worked so hard and invested so much in. I worked very hard to be here, and it's not about my ego. It's not about that. There's a reason that God put me here in this space. This was a church 2 times over at least before it was what it is now. God lives in this building. God is already here. There's something about this space, this specific space, you know? And you know, I'm hoping we'll get to keep it. I really am. I really am. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you in advance if you're able to help in any way, shape, or form. I appreciate you. May all of your karma come back on you times 111. Much love to you. Many blessings. I'll talk to you soon.